Now I will talk about parts of the root. First of all, this red part here is the style. The style contains vascular system with differentiated xylem vessels and primary phloem that function in the transport of product of photosynthesis. And next, this is the blue color one here, is the endodermis. The endodermis regulates the movement of water, ions and hormones into and out of the vascular system. And next, the yellow part here, which is the cortex. The cortex is responsible for the transportation of materials into the cylinder of root through diffusion and may also be used for food storage in the form of starch. And next, the purple part here is the epidermis. The epidermis will protect the plants against water loss and will regulate gaseous exchange and also absorb water and mineral nutrients. And next, this part is the root cap. The root cap will protect the stem cells within the root tip. And next we have the quiescent center, which is here. It is important as it is the foundation of plant growth and productivity. And lastly, we have the columella. This part is the columella and it is responsible for gravity perception. Next, we have this structure here, which is in a cylindrical shape. This surface will indicate primary growth. If you compare this to this, they are actually similar. And then we have this, which indicates secondary growth. And if we compare this to this, they are actually the same. Now we will look at the primary growth in plants. Primary growth is the result of rapidly dividing cells in the apical meristems at the root and shoot tip. The growth of root and shoot during the primary growth enables plants to seek for water and sunlight properly. Now we will look at sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma is important for the support of plants. The xylem tissue is important in the transport of water and minerals from the roots to the leaf. The phloem tissue is important in the transport of soluble organic compounds made during photosynthesis, which is the sucrose from the leaves to the roots. This transport of the organic compounds is known as a process translocation. Next, we have the pith. The pith transports nutrients throughout the plant and stores the nutrients within the cells. Now we will talk about secondary growth in plants. First of all, the middle here is the pith. The pith transports nutrients throughout the plant and then store the nutrients inside the cell. Then we have the xylem tissue, which is the primary xylem and the secondary xylem. The main function of xylem tissue is to transport water and minerals from the roots to the leaves of the plant. The primary xylem is formed by the primary growth of procambium, while the secondary xylem is formed by secondary growth of the vascular cambium. And next, we have the primary and secondary phloem. The phloem function is to transport carbohydrates from sources to sinks through the sieve tube elements. The primary phloem is formed from apical meristem, while the secondary xylem is formed by vascular cambium. Next, we have the vascular cambium and the cork cambium. The function of the vascular cambium is to increase the diameter of stems and roots and forming woody tissue inside the plants, while the cork cambium replaces the epidermis during secondary growth and then destroys the epidermis of the primary plant body. Overall, the function of secondary growth is to increase the width of the plant root or the stem. Next, we will look at the leaf structure. First of all, we have the waxy cuticle. The waxy cuticle will reduce the rate of water loss from the leaf surface. And then we have the upper epidermis. The upper epidermis will also prevent excessive water loss. And next we have these cells called palisade mesophyll cells, which will absorb light energy for photosynthesis to occur. And next we have the bundle sheet. The bundle sheet will conduct the flow of water from the xylem to the mesophyll cells and to intercellular spaces. And then we have the xylem and phloem, which make up the vascular bundle. The xylem will transport water and minerals from the roots to leaves, while the phloem will transport soluble organic compounds, which is the sucrose, from the leaves to roots through a process known as translocation. And then we have the spongy mesophyll. The spongy mesophyll are packed loosely. They are not packed very close together when you compare it to the palisade mesophyll. They are packed very loosely. They are packed loosely to enable efficient gas exchange in the plants to occur. And then we have the lower epidermis. The lower epidermis contains the stomata. This is the stomata. This stomata will allow the exchange of gases. It allows the exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen, and it allows carbon dioxide and oxygen to move in and out of the plant. It will regulate the flow of gases in and out of the leaves. And lastly, we have the waxy cuticle, similar to the waxy cuticle above this.